Hey guys, tonight we're going to wander through dusty riverbanks, imagine the clatter of mud brick tools, and hear the faint splash of irrigation canals as the first empires stir awake. You probably won't survive this without blinking a few times at how ambitious humans were, building civilizations out of nothing more than mud, water, and stubborn determination. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, drop your location and local time in the comments. I love knowing where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You trudge along the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates, where Mesopotamia whispers stories older than most empires you'll ever read about. Imagine Sumerian scribes scratching cuneiform into wet clay tablets as the sun glares down, and traders haul grain, wool, and crafted goods to the bustling city-states of Ur, Uruk, and Lagash. These early river valley civilizations weren't just surviving, they were plotting the blueprint of empire. Canals for irrigation, walls for protection, and a system of governance that made sure everyone knew their place. Historians still argue whether Mesopotamia truly invented the idea of empire, but there's no denying their urban planning and legal codes left footprints that echo through millennia. Across the desert, the Nile flows like a silver ribbon, and the pharaohs of Egypt harness its predictable flood cycles to orchestrate society. Picture monumental pyramids glinting in the morning sun, the smell of baked mud bricks, and priests recording celestial movements with meticulous care. The Egyptians' mastery of agriculture, coupled with religion and centralized power, gave them stability that lasted thousands of years, something even the most ambitious city-states of Mesopotamia couldn't always claim. And yes, the fringe tidbit here is a bit gross but fascinating. Egyptians are believed to have used crocodile dung mixed with other ingredients as sunscreen. Imagine slathering that on while parading before your subjects. Talk about multitasking between skincare and intimidation. Far to the east, the Indus Valley hums with an entirely different energy. Cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro boast grid layouts, advanced drainage systems, and standardized bricks. Streets are straight, baths are sophisticated, and artifacts suggest a complex, peaceful urban life. Yet the Indus script remains undeciphered, teasing historians with tantalizing hints of governance and culture that are just out of reach. Scholars still argue about the extent of political centralization in these cities. Was it a single empire, a federation, or independent city-states loosely linked through trade? You wander through the ruins, and the questions linger as much as the faint scent of baked earth. Meanwhile, the Shang and Zhou dynasties of China were forging a path through the Bronze Age. The Shang kings commanded armies, priests performed divinations on oracle bones, and bronze weaponry gave them unmatched military strength. Zhou successors introduced the Mandate of Heaven, an early justification for dynastic rule, cleverly combining religion and politics. You can almost hear the clang of bronze, smell the smoke from ritual fires, and imagine how rulers legitimized themselves to both the living and the ancestors. Fringe tales suggest that some of the Shang's divination rituals involved interpreting the cracks in bones while sipping fermented beverages. Scholars still debate the accuracy, but it adds texture to your mental tableau. Across these river valleys, a pattern emerges. Control of water, land, and labor isn't just survival, it's power. The smell of mud, the taste of early beer, and the heat of the sun were constants, shaping the rhythm of daily life. Early empires thrived not only by conquest, but by administration, law, and commerce. From Mesopotamian scribes to Nile priests, from Indus engineers to Shang kings, the first empires were experimental laboratories of human ambition. And as you imagine carrying a clay tablet, plotting a canal, or drawing city streets in the dust, you can almost feel the heartbeat of civilizations that would set the stage for every empire that followed. By the time you step back from these riverbanks, you realize that what seems quaint, the simple act of growing crops in a predictable floodplain, was the seed of a global habit. Humans organizing themselves into something bigger than survival, something we now recognize as empire. And it all started quietly, without cannons, without borders, just ambition, ingenuity, and a little mud. You leave the river valleys behind, stepping into a world of iron, marble, and clashing armies, where the classical empires of Persia, Greece, and Rome rise with ambition that sometimes feels almost cartoonishly grand. You probably won't survive thinking about the sheer audacity of their leaders who could mobilize tens of thousands of soldiers before breakfast. So keep that fan humming, maybe sip something cool, and let's glide into the age where strategy, philosophy, and conquest collide. Start with the Persian Empire. Imagine standing in Persepolis, where grand staircases lead to palaces adorned with carved reliefs of lions, archers, and tribute bearers. Darius I and his successors built an administrative marvel, dividing the empire into satrapies and connecting them with roads that so vast that messages could travel hundreds of miles in days. Persian soldiers wore armor that glinted in the sun, and their postal system was so efficient that Herodotus called it, "Neither snow nor rain nor heat nor darkness could stop it." Yes, centuries before that phrase was borrowed from modern postal services. Historians still argue whether Persia's longevity was due more to tolerance and administration or sheer intimidation of neighboring states. Meanwhile, the Greek city-states pulse with culture, philosophy, and occasional chaos. Picture Athens bustling with citizens debating democracy in open-air forums, while Sparta drills soldiers into near-mythical warriors. Their discipline is harsh as the midday sun. The Greeks' influence isn't limited to warfare. Their art, philosophy, and theater shaped the very concept of civilization. Yet there's a quirky note. Some Greek athletes supposedly competed naked in the Olympics. Imagine sprinting past thousands of spectators in the scorching sun. Comfort aside, it's a vivid testament to their obsession with aesthetics and performance. And then there's Rome. Sprawling, legalistic, unstoppable. You trudge along the Via Appia, feeling the stone beneath your feet as legions march in near-perfect formation. Roads, aqueducts, and a system of law cement Rome's influence over vast territories. Fringe tidbit, Roman concrete, unmatched in longevity, included volcanic ash, and the exact recipe was lost for centuries. So their buildings still outlive many modern skyscrapers. Historians still argue whether Rome fell due to internal decay, economic collapse, or the relentless pressure from external invasions. Don't forget Carthage, Rome's bitter rival. Imagine the Mediterranean dotted with trade ships, the scent of spices in the air, and generals like Hannibal plotting audacious campaigns, famously crossing the Alps with elephants. Their rivalry with Rome produced both legendary battles and urban legends, including tales of Carthaginian child sacrifice. Scholars still debate whether these accounts are propaganda or grim reality. In this classical world, conquest and culture intertwine. You can almost smell the oil lamps in Greek academies, the incense in Persian temples, and the dust of Roman roads. The fringe, the factual, and the debatable swirled together, painting a vibrant tableau of empires that relied on both human ingenuity and brute force.
You feel the weight of history pressing softly on your shoulders, a reminder that ambition, whether through philosophy, law, or sheer military might, was the engine driving these empires forward. As the sun sets over classical civilizations, you notice a pattern. Every empire sought permanence, whether through governance, culture, or architecture. And yet, despite walls, roads, and armies, each is fragile in ways historians still argue about. The classical empires teach a lesson that will echo through time. The grandest achievements are often as delicate as a wax seal on a clay tablet. And the more ambitious the ruler, the thinner the line between legend and disaster.
Influence can travel farther than armies, and sometimes the legend of the journey outlives the actual conquest. You sense that empires of the sea weren't just about territory. They were about connecting worlds, leaving a legacy woven from sails, stories, and the endless push of human curiosity. You step out of salty breezes and into the smoke and steam of the modern era, where industrial chimneys, railroads, and factories define empire. The scale is unprecedented, and you probably won't survive the thought of nations expanding influence not just through armies or navies, but through technology, ideology, and economic might. So keep your fan humming gently, adjust your blanket, and let's glide into the age of modern behemoths. The Industrial Revolution powers empires like never before. Steam engines whistle, iron rails stretch across continents, and telegraph lines hum with messages traveling faster than any messenger ever could. Britain's industrial might allows it to project influence worldwide, controlling colonies and trading networks with mechanical efficiency. Fringe tidbit: some factories used elaborate systems of bells and whistles to coordinate thousands of workers, effectively creating a rhythm that dictated daily life, almost like an industrial symphony. Historians still argue whether technological dominance or sheer population size mattered more in maintaining global influence. Across the Atlantic, the United States emerges as a continental and eventually global power. You trudge across expanding frontiers, feel the rumble of railroads, and witness cities swelling with immigrants and industry. By the 20th century, technological, economic, and military power propels the U.S. into a superpower role. Fringe anecdote: early skyscrapers in New York required elevators that initially terrified people, yet soon defined the city skyline and global image. Scholars still debate whether American influence stems more from economic reach, military interventions, or cultural exports. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union asserts a different kind of empire, where ideology blends with territory. Railroads and industrial projects span icy Siberian landscapes, while propaganda and centralized planning extend influence across millions of people. You imagine engineers coordinating massive projects, cities sprouting like mushrooms after rain, and armies flexing technological and ideological power. Fringe tidbit: Soviet spies and Cold War schemes read like novels, some almost too bizarre to believe. Historians still argue whether territorial control or ideological influence shaped the Soviet legacy more profoundly. Colonial legacies ripple across the globe. Former empires leave linguistic, political, and cultural footprints in Asia, Africa, and the Americas. You wander through streets where architecture, trade patterns, and cuisine tell stories of empires long gone, but still shaping modern life. Fringe tales linger, hidden treasures, secret treaties, and little-known uprisings that shaped borders in unexpected ways. Scholars still debate whether modern superpowers' size always equates to lasting global impact, or if subtler cultural and economic pressures are the real markers of influence. Through all these modern giants, you sense a pattern. Scale and speed, technology and ideology connect nations like never before. Empires now influence the globe not merely by conquering land, but by shaping economies, communication, and culture. You feel the pulse of history in factories, railroads, skyscrapers, and capitals, realizing that modern power is complex, layered, and contested. Size may impress, but lasting influence depends on systems, ideas, and human ingenuity, not just territory. By the time you step back, the lesson is clear. Modern empires are measured as much by the networks they create and the ideas they export as by the lands they control. And just as you've traced rivers, plains, oceans, and roads, you notice that history's giants, ancient or modern, leave legacies that ripple far beyond their physical boundaries. Now, as you settle deeper into your chair or bed, feel the pace of history slow around you. The clang of bronze, the thunder of hooves, the creak of ships, and the hiss of steam all fade into a gentle rhythm, like waves lapping against a distant shore. The empires you've wandered through, river valleys, classical cities, steppes, oceans, and industrial metropolises, are no longer marching legions or bustling ports. They are whispers in the wind, echoes of human ambition, ingenuity, and curiosity. Imagine the Nile's waters, the Mongol's endless plains, the bustling docks of Lisbon and London, and the industrial cities of the modern world, all merging into one quiet mosaic. You sense the triumphs and failures of rulers, the brilliant innovations of engineers and thinkers, and the fragile, fleeting nature of even the largest empires. History, with its facts, fringe stories, and scholarly debates, becomes a soft tapestry under your fingers. Breathe in slowly. Let the images of ancient scribes, Greek philosophers, Roman legions, and Cold War engineers drift through your mind. Nothing demands your immediate action. No empire needs your allegiance. Only curiosity remains, gently settling as the night deepens. You realize that humans throughout time have sought connection, power, and understanding. And while empires rise and fall, the stories, lessons, and odd little anecdotes, crocodile dung sunscreen, phantom islands, bizarre spy schemes, linger, painting history in color and texture. Let the final images soften, the sounds fade, and the knowledge that you've traveled through 5 millennia of human ambition settle over you like a warm blanket. Your mind can rest now, carrying fragments of rivers, plains, oceans, and steel into dreams. History has slowed, the world is quiet, and you are ready to drift.